Hello guys, and we are here today with another very awesome deck profile. We are here with some Phantom Knight Burning Abyss, and the deck is actually surprisingly good, even if you don't open up with Fire Lake, which was one of the downsides to Burning Abyss, is that you practically had to open up with Firesides and Traveler and the Gate, and if you didn't, well, you're gonna have a hard time. But this deck can spam way more and even more powerful rank 3s, and still do all the plays that Burning Abyss could do before, but even better because these Phantom Knight monsters don't destroy themselves. Of course the Burning Abyss will, but as long as you can just spam your Phantom Knight monsters, you can make whatever XE monsters you want and don't have to worry about them just disappearing. So let's just go and we're running BLS because we're running light monsters and dark monsters. We don't have any main deck light monsters. We do have 2 earth monsters, but all of our light monsters are in the extra deck, but he's still pretty easily summonable, and even if you have to banish a Dante, it's not the end of the world. Barbar for burn, 2 Seer because, well, Seer's at 2, and 1 Graph because Graph is at 1. Graph will summon from the deck, and Seer will summon a Burning Abyss monster from the graveyard. And if you do not know how Burning Abyss work, they all destroy themselves if you do not control. No, if you control a monster that is not a Burning Abyss monster, they would destroy themselves. All Burning Abyss monsters would do that. This is Fiendish Rhino Warrior. Probably should be playing him at 3, only playing him at 2. If you want, you could take out like a Rubik, but he will protect your Fiend monsters. Fiend monsters cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects while he is face up on the field, and his effects are not negated. In other words, you didn't summon them from Tour Guide. So that's really nice, is being able to summon anything and not have to worry about them being destroyed. And if he is sent to the graveyard, you can send 1 Fiend type monster from your deck to the graveyard as well. Something else to note with all the Burning Abyss monsters, if you control no spell and trap cards, you can special summon them, so that is something else to pay attention to. Calcab will bounce a set card. Libic will summon a level 3 Dark Fiend type monster with its effects negated, which means if you summon out a Burning Abyss monster, effects will be negated and it will not destroy itself if you control a monster that is not a Burning Abyss monster. Libic is very important. Don't be afraid to put him up to 3. Farfa, I like running 3 Farfa because he's just free removal. If he is sent to the graveyard, you can banish one monster on the field until the end phase, and then returns in the same position. So that is very useful, just being able to get rid of a monster. It does come back, but it helps with those OTKs, and it can mess with your opponent's plays if you use a Karma card or something else. Graph was summoned from the deck, as mentioned. We're running 2 Kuri Bandits because Kuri Bandits work really well with the Phantom Knights, and you kind of do want to see the spell and trap cards. And plus, it's a -5 for your deck, so... Tour Guide, of course, is Tour Guide, summon out any level 3 Fiend monster. Scar will search any level 3 Dark Fiend type monster from your deck, including Tour Guide and Kuri Bandit. And then we are at the Phantom Knight engine. The Phantom Knights, this guy, his effect isn't really important, other than you can banish him and add 1 Phantom Knight card from your deck to hand, although DevPro only allows me to add monsters. Don't know why. Oh, these are called Phantom Knights, and it says the Phantom Knights. Semantics. Anyways, so if he's in the grave, you can banish him to search out, except himself. So you can search out this guy. If this guy is in the graveyard, you can banish him to search out any of your trap cards. I recommend searching out Fogblade because Fogblade's really good. This guy, though, if you control Phantom Knight, you can special summon him from your hand. So that is your rank 3 engine. You summon him, and then you're able to special summon him. So you want to have a lot of these guys, because if you have 2 of him, you can still get off a rank 3. You summon 1, and then special summon the other. No, I know but you can only special summon this guy once per turn that way. But that's not the main way you're going to be summoning them. Of course, we also have 2 Rubric to summon out Virgil. I like running this card, beginning of the end. It might be a little bit cloggy. You might not, if you open up with it, you can't get it off. But it's really easy to get off late game, and drawing 3 cards is broken no matter how you cut it up. Foolish is Foolish, Twin Twister is Twin Twister. You have an infinite amount of cards to discard, like any of these cards except Tour Guide and Kuri Bandit. And BLS. You could discard. 2 Fire Lake, because again, this deck doesn't actually need to have too many Fire Lakes. 2 Karma Cut, this is really good against Pendulums, because they don't go to the extra deck. You can get rid of multiple stuff if they've XZ summoned, and it's just really nice. And now the Phantom Knight spell and trap cards. The important part is if these cards are in the graveyard, so if you mill them, or they just go to graveyard because you use them, you can banish them, to special summon out a Phantom Knight monster. You can only use that once per turn, but that means you can get off 3 special summons from your graveyard, because as long as you can keep on making new XZ monsters and detaching a Phantom Knight monster, you can constantly keep on summon them out. So you can do a total of 3 because we're running the 3 traps. But they also do have decent effects. This one will protect the monster from being destroyed by battle or by card effect this turn, and it gains 500 attack. This one though, this is the one you want to search, as I said, because it will negate it. It's a Fiendish Chain, it cannot attack, its effects are negated, but it cannot be attacked. So if you equip it to your own monster, none of your opponent's monsters can attack it. And Dante still gets his mill 3, so if you were to equip it to a Dante, or target a Dante, its effects will be negated, but you could still mill 3 cards. You just want to gain the increase in attack. And you couldn't be attacked. So, variety of utility with this card. This card also protects from being destroyed, but only once per turn, but it also gains 800 attack, so that's even better. So these can boost up your, well, these two can boost up. But again, the main thing is you want to mill them and have a Phantom Knight card in graveyard, or like 2, or this guy in hand. So that way you can just summon out and make 3 rank 3s. And with them being able to banish themselves to search, you can always make a Leviair to then add and summon them back. And that is it for the main deck. Into the extra deck, 2 Utopic Futures. You can always cut this card down to 1, but I like this guy. It really messes with Cosmos. And yeah. And then we also have Dante, of course. He will detach, and then you declare a number 1 through 3 and send that many from the top of your deck, and gains 500 attack for each. And if it is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Burning Abyss card from your graveyard to your hand. We're also running Equipped Engineer, just generic rank 3. Leviair can summon out your Phantom Knights. And of course, anything you banish off a Barbar or beginning of the end. And then Alucard can pop back row. This guy though, this guy is like a Scrap Dragon. Once per turn, detach 1 XYZ material from this card. Target 1 card you control and 1 card your opponent controls. Destroy them. So he can target himself. If this XC summon card is destroyed, target 2 Phantom Knight monsters with the same level in your graveyard, special summon them and increase their level by 1. We don't run any rank 4s. If you want, you can throw in a Dark Rebellion, or 101, or just any generic rank 4. But no, you cannot special monsters except for Dark monsters. Okay, so yeah, throw in like a Dark Rebellion or something. Wouldn't be bad. Because otherwise you'd summon out these guys and you wouldn't be able to get rid of them. And then of course, Nightmare Shark being able to attack directly for 2000 is great. Astrogorn is a 3000 meter. Don't really want to go into him, but you can always go into him if you need to. And then of course, Downer Magician plays on top of any of your rank 3s, and it inflicts piercing, and it just protects your Dantes from being bounced and making sure that they go to graveyard. And then of course we have Virgil, discard a Burning Abyss card and target 1 card your opponent controls or in the graveyard, shuffle it into the deck, and if it leaves the field, draw 1 card. And that is this Burning Abyss 2016. The deck definitely is playable. I don't know how competitive it is. It does have some good plays. Being able to destroy stuff, multiple stuff, is really good. I mean, you have the Fire Lakes and the 2 Twin Twisters, or the 1 Twin Twister, so that means you can get rid of Pendulums pretty easily. This deck probably has a decent matchup against Monarchs, being able to banish cards like Idea from the graveyard, or yeah, from the graveyard, because this card can hit cards in the graveyard, and just being able to get rid of stuff is just really good. And so I feel this deck has decent matchups, but I don't know if it's going to be the best deck in the format by any means. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Tell me guys what you think of Burning Abyss and some of the older decks. Do you think they'll be able to stand up this format? And obviously this is the only deck because Tellarknights don't have Infinity anymore, and Shaddolls only have Winda and Cleaforts. Yeah, Cleaforts. They don't have towers. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys later.